Senator from Arlington, Senator Favola.
Thank you, Mr. President. Speaking to the measure.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you. I rise in favor of the governor's amendments. And in addition to the comments made from the senior senator from Loudoun, I do want to note that a very important change has been made by the governor, which this body should be very comfortable with. When this bill was being debated in front of the Courts of Justice Committee, we talked about the threat assessment team on the campuses as being the preferred vehicle for investigating these sexual assault allegations. And the bill added actually law enforcement to those threat assessment teams, which are required under Title IX. One of the questions that came up in the deliberative process was, what happens if members of the Threat Assessment Committee don't agree that the allegation is serious enough or there's enough evidence that it should be reported to law enforcement, that personal identifying information should be released? The bill that passed out of the General Assembly had the Title IX coordinator has the one who would determine whether or not personal information would be released. At the time, the universities thought that was the way to go because it was conforming to the Title IX guidelines. Some of us would have preferred that law enforcement be the person who would be responsible for deciding if the information should be turned over to a prosecutor. And the governor, in fact, has now put the law enforcement person as the deciding factor, as the deciding individual on the threat assessment team. So I am much happier with that. The universities have come around to the viewpoint that perhaps this is the better approach to go. Frankly, I think they feel it will avoid potential lawsuits, so they're now on board. I think it is a much better bill, and the other two comments that were made, I think the senior senator from Loudoun merely clarified the two additional amendments. One was clarifying language on the Commonwealth attorney or local prosecuting attorney, and then cases with international students are exempt from these. So I think this bill is a really, really good bill now, and I encourage us all to adopt the amendments.